If you are keeping broilers, you have to create market outlet. It's very important for any management to create market outlet. We are using them in thousands, and because they have market outlet, they have no problem. Because before they mature, the market is ready. Before they mature, the market is ready. So you must have outlet. And then, as I said, the second point here is in line with what I said earlier on. A successful management should be able to harness human potential and human resources for successful production. That's what your management should do. Management, again, is very important. Management is not just providing the feed. It's not just providing the feed, providing the people with their salary and then counting the money after sales. No, the management must provide good housing. You must pay attention to good housing. In fact, there are people we are after they have constructed the farm without consulting anybody, we ask them to modify the farm to provide industrial exhaust fans in order to control heat. So the management must pay attention to the house. Water is very important. In the life of chicken, water is very important. It's more important than feed. Water is more important than feed. Water is more important than feed. Even the egg you are eating is more than 60% water. And unfortunately for the chicken, it doesn't sweat. It doesn't have, even if it has, sweat glands are very scanty. So it doesn't sweat like we do. So you must provide what? Adequate housing, adequate water, and then you provide feed. So the feed is not the most important thing, you provide feed. You can, in another practice, you are veterinarians, in another practice we force molt chickens, because the physiology of chicken, after producing for some time, it will molt. And then after molting, it will start another cycle of production. So if there is no market, the egg is not moving. You force molt the chicken. And how do you force molt the chicken? You remove feed, give it water for 3 or 4 days. That is done. But you can never deny chicken water. If you do, there will be crisis. So the farm should also, the management should also be able to keep records. Because any business without record is it's like keeping your wife, it's like maintaining your house. You keep on pumping money into the house, and then you cannot account for the money because the husband will give you money and give you what she feels you deserve. So without that way you are not recording. You cannot account for the money you are spending. But here you must keep records, because the records will tell you whether you are making profit or you are losing, or your banks will be happy, your lenders, people who give you the capital will be happy with looking at your records. That really the project is viable. And then you must do disease prevention. This is our trade. This is what we are trained to do. So for you, it's not a problem. Is it a problem for you? No. Disease prevention is not a problem. For us, it is not. Because this is what we feed on. This is what we thrive. This is what we are living. Okay? Is it not what we feed on? This is what we thrive on. And this is what you do if you didn't join politics. I hope you will join politics. Why if you didn't join politics, you will join us. That is what we do. And then the other thing is biosecurity. It's biosecurity. Bio. You want to secure your environment against microorganisms, unwanted microorganisms. So these are practices that will make your management excellent, and then you make money, and you are happy. Everybody will be happy if you are making money. There are problems of poor management. If your management is very poor, with very poor management. With very poor management, you have delay in growth, particularly in broilers. You know, somebody will call you, come and buy broilers 6 weeks. They will be looking like as if they are 4 weeks. When we started broilers here in Nigeria, we are selling at 8 weeks. Now the time has been drastically reduced to 6 weeks. In fact, we are now selling at 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So if the management is poor, you cannot harvest your broilers at 5 weeks. If you cannot harvest your broilers at 5 weeks, they will be eating your money. Your profit margin will reduce. So very poor margin will give you, you have delay in growth, then you have high cost of production. High cost of production. This is very important for people keeping layers. At grower stage, they play around. Some of them will give them feed. Some of them will mix the feed with bran. Some will mix the feed with this one, rice bran, all in order to reduce cost. Then, if you do this, for a chicken that is supposed to give you egg at 16, 18, or 20 weeks, will reach 25, 26 weeks without giving you an egg. So what you have successfully done is to increase your cost of production, and the chickens will use it. They must reach a certain weight. The most important thing is not their age, is their weight at a given age. If at 16 weeks, the average weight of your layer is 1.5 kg, be sure you will get eggs at that age. You will get eggs at what? 16 weeks. If the average weight of the flock is 1.5 kg. But if at 16 weeks, the average weight of the flock is 0.9 kg, then you know you are not ready. But the only thing why most of us don't like the eggs at 16 weeks is because the eggs are tiny. They give you tiny eggs, which we call pigeon eggs, and we don't like it. If your management is very poor, you have predators. We have a field day because it depends on not secure. Any predator from cats, snakes, and others will come. They will have a field day. Others like lizards. If you go to some poultry, you that visited poultry farms, you see lizards in several in the pen with the chicken. And then you see rodents. The rodent will be watching you in the broad daylight. It will be watching you. Rodents in broad daylight, you see rodents in poultry because the housing, the management is very poor. And as I say, production will be low, very, very low. You will not break even. Then you encourage theft. With very poor management, you encourage theft, and then you waste time. As I said, instead of you to start counting money at about 25 weeks, you will start counting money at about 30 weeks of age. You have wasted your time. Then you have high disease prevalence. With very poor management, dirty environment, you are encouraging diseases, and then ultimately death. If the chicken is sick, or if it is poorly fed. If you feed your chicken poorly, no matter what you do, I always tell farmers, whatever drug you pump into the chicken, it will not make it, and then you lose the chickens, and you lose income at the end of the day. Okay, let's rush to this one. Because for successful egg production, it must start from the chicks. So most people will tell you buy good quality day-old chicks. You buy what? Good quality day-old chicks. After you have gotten the good quality day-old chicks, then to manage them is a problem. Because remember, you have removed the mother. Then whatever the mother is doing to the chick is what you do. The mother essentially provides heat to the chicks. Essentially, the most important work of the mother in birds, most species of birds, is to provide heat, because the chickens are poorly fed. As for feed and water, the chicken can fend for itself. But the most important work for the mother is to provide heat. But before you provide the heat, you must clean and disinfect the poultry house. Because you know, if our wives, for those of us that are married, if our wives are expecting, we do a lot of things to make sure that the child coming survive. It's just nothing to make sure that the child coming survive. So for the baby chick, you do the same. You clean and disinfect the environment very well. Then you spread litter material. This is where you have a problem, because some people use sawdust. Some people use what? Sawdust as a litter material. If you put your day-old chick on the litter, on the sawdust, it will swallow it. It will eat it, because anything it sees, it pets. And if it eats it, certainly it is going to die. Because it cannot handle it. How you are with me? So this litter material to be extra careful. So what we do after spraying the litter material, be it sawdust or whatever, we cover it with paper. We cover it with what? Paper, brown paper, or whatever. Some people that are highly innovative, some companies are producing brooding papers and selling to some of us. So you buy, but even if you cannot buy the one coming from the industry, you use sawdust. Others use cement paper. You know, the package is cement before in paper. I don't know whether now it is still the same. And then they use paper. We, the academics, are wasting. They use a lot of them, but you must cover the litter when the chicks are young, and then depending on what you do around the brood and the brooding pen you cycle with seeding. You make big cycles depending on the number that can contain, at least depending on the number, 1,000, 2,000 or 3,000 birds. You make big cycles. These cycles are to guard the birds, to make sure they don't roam around. They don't run around your pen. Because if they have space, they will keep on running all over the space. But if you guard them, it's like you restrict their movement around the source of heat, and then you provide feed and water within the cycle. If you leave them in an open room like this, they will run tired. They waste a lot of energy in running. In fact, we have given a number here, 250, but at your discretion, you can provide gas for whichever number of birds you want. As I said, after spraying raw materials, you cover it with paper, out your something, and then you check the brooder. The chickens, you must brood them. The temperature of the brooder then must be, particularly at day one, must be between 39 degrees and 41 degrees Fahrenheit. 39 to what? To 41 degrees Fahrenheit, particularly at day one. This one, 90 to 95. But it shouldn't be lower than 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Centigrade. It shouldn't be lower than 37 degrees centigrade. Okay? Okay? When pathogens arrive, once they come, the first thing you do is to count. You remove them from the carton, you are counting. You count to make sure that you have 51. because things are very expensive. Before they used to give us about 55, but now they give you 51. In fact, if you buy from middlemen, they will remove you only one. So they will give you 50 exactly. But you can't. During the count, you remove all dead birds, all dead birds, all dead birds, and all week birds. And then the first thing you do, the last point there, if your chicks arrive, it is expected the first thing you give them should be water for the first 3 to 4 hours. You give them water. If you can afford, you add glucose to the water. If you can afford, okay, sir. If you can afford, you give them, you include electrolytes, but you must give them water. If you make the mistake of giving them feed, you will lose a lot of them because the vent will be blocked by the feces. You know, for those, the vent will be blocked. We call it vent bleed, and then you have to come and remove the feces that are stuck to the vent. Otherwise, the chick will die. Similar to what you have in that and where they are born without anus, atresia. So move. Let's do. I have concluded exactly. You have to use. Growers management. You know, if you are doing layer production, you have a period we call them growers, and at this stage, they are not producing eggs. They are just eating it. And it's a very painful period for farmers. From 8 weeks to about 20 weeks, you just give pumping in your money. And that's why a lot of farmers create problems for themselves. They don't want to feed them, they want to reduce the cost of feeding, and you have a lot of problems, and you have delayed onset of egg production, and you have high mortality. Layer management. Once your birds have passed the grower stage, they start laying at between 16 to 20 weeks. At between 16 to 20 weeks, you have to regularly disinfect your layer house before you move them to the layer house. Then you provide adequate space, particularly if you are in litter. In deep litter system, the floor space is the standard requirement. Standard requirement? No, that is not the standard requirement. Standard requirement is to give them 3 square feet per bird. Some people will tell you about 5 birds per square meter. That is standard recommendation. But the minimum you can give them is 1.5 square feet. So the 2 feet can stand, but it's not the recommended. So if you have the space, you give them as much as 3 square feet per bird. Then the cage system, although there is a problem with this one now, it is under a lot of threat all over the world. It has not come here. You use, depending on the size of the set, you use 3 to 4 box of 18 inches by 15 by 15 inches, and you can use linear figures. Up now, they are not less, and then some people still produce linear figures, but the book now is usually label figures, which are safe with water is meter. In the flow, you have to spread your liters evenly so that everyone is covered evenly. But unfortunately for you, somehow, where the birds usually roost, where they sleep in the night, tend to have more, the litter material tend to be more concentrated around that place. but you have to use spread your litter material very well. Another mistake people are making is some every month, some every week, some fortnight, some quarterly, they will be changing the litter. They will be changing the litter. And if you are changing the litter, you disturb the boss, a lot of dust and others. So as much as possible, if there is no need, there is no need for you to be changing the litter completely. All you need to do is if the litter is too much, you reduce it. If the litter is too much, you reduce it. Because if you leave concentration of the litter with very poor level, you have ammonia bonds. And you have ammonia bonds, if you have a lot of ammonia, no production. So that is the essence. And unless you wipe enough, why play in the dark place? And that is why you are supposed to place your nest, lay nest. Move on. Let's see. Move on. Record keeping. As I said earlier, this one is very, very important. So you keep records of the number of birds you have. You keep records of the feed. You keep records of the production. How many eggs are they laying? How many eggs, how many crates are cracked? How many are broken? How many crates do you sell? It's very, very important. The record of the building. How many buildings do you have? What equipment do you have in the building? When last did you renovate the building? If at all you renovate the building, then you are feeding. When you guys, then you are wheelbarrow, you purchase everything. You must keep record for it. Record of maintenance, record of sales, for you to be able to calculate depreciation as the term of agriculture. But you be able to calculate depreciation. Most of the records, all the records, all the pen, you have to record this. First, the name or number of the pen, the number of the bird, the month. It must contain all this. Then in the record you have age of the birds in weeks. Then you must have the number of the number a day. How can you see? Then you have egg production. First egg collection around 12 or 1, depending on the management. Record number of eggs. You record the number in the afternoon. You record number in the evening. Then you have column for what? Total. Then you must record feed consumption. How many feeds they consume? Water consumption. Vaccination, if any. Medication, if any. So that you are recording what? For this case. I hope you are with me. You must do for this case. Then you must have records of sales. So you have some people recommend for that. So that you know you have collected some eggs, and then you have also some number and remaining. And then if it is a fact that you collect egg from so man must have his own record that he has collected so number of crates of eggs from the A, the B, and others. But it's very important. You can't have successful continue. We are trying this one. Go back. Constraints. What are the constraints of poultry production? What are your constraints? One is that government policies, macroeconomic policies. as I give you an example, with this change of currency, our farmers and then now the program that is extremely hot. But you, this about so majority people can tell us what it is. And then you go down south, the relatively relatively very hard. It makes a comfortable because you don't have time. Then you have this one is very important. This is worse than disease. This is what worse than disease. What do I mean by this? Stealing by yourself is worse than disease. Let quickly share with your permission. There was somebody here in Zongo. We were going to the farm. The bus are dropping. We did whatever is humanly possible within our power. The egg the bus did not improve. So God in His wisdom gave the farmer wisdom. She sent the attendant on leave. She sent him on leave, and the following day, 3 extra crates were collected. 3 extra crates were collected. Just by sending him on leave, telling us that he is the one stealing the eggs. But we are wasting money and time pumping drugs, vaccines, and what have you to the chickens. The real problem is demand. And then some people, every day around 1 p.m., the egg collector would horn, and then somebody would climb a sack of the chicken dog, and then give him the eggs, and he would collect from the backyard and left. One day, the owner of the farm came back early, they didn't know. She had the horn, she ran, and she caught them red-handed. Somebody was caught with the chickens in his pants. Live chickens in his pants. And then a lady collected the egg in her bra. A lot of eggs in her bra. So this is very, very dangerous. And then the feed. For those of us keeping chickens, we know what it is. Now a layer mash is going for more than 14,000. A layer mash is going for more than 14,000. A broiler starter or finisher is going for over 20,000. So what do you do? You know, and the egg is not, as somebody asked me, the egg is not appreciable with the cost of the feed. Now a crate of egg is about 5,000. We do analysis. We do like we spend about 4,500 and then you have that price of product. This we can handle, but there are diseases that we cannot handle. Because if we have anybody that reported high mortality in his farm to me, the first thing I do is to think of avian influenza. Then it is only after visiting the farm if I can strongly suggest avian influenza, then I get respite. I get rest of mind that start mortality is a disease I can handle. Because if you have a disease you cannot handle, then it's a big problem. Or if you have diseases like foul typhoid, man, you make money, but your professionality will be questioned. The farmer will always question your product because you will treat, mortality will stop. 7 days, mortality will relapse. You treat 3-4 days, mortality will stop. You withdraw drug, mortality will relapse. So how do you sustain the poultry? How do you sustain poultry? Favorable economy. If the economy is favorable, favorable economy, favorable government policy, you will sustain the production. The poultry industry in Nigeria is complaining. Poultry Association of Nigeria is complaining that more than 30% of farms have been closed down, and then because so-called government palliative not getting to them because they don't know the answer who is getting the palliative. So it's a big problem. The fuel subsidy removal is really hitting the poultry industry. And we don't want anything to do with the poultry industry. So it provides a lot of employment for us. When Holland came, they employed a lot of people from the faculty of veterinary. A lot of them are there comfortable. Some of them it has served as a nucleus for them. Some of them, a lot of them are on their own now. They are happy. If they didn't employ them, we will be in trouble. Because you can't employ somebody and looking at him carrying papers from one office to the other, or looking at him to become a destitute. Because if he becomes a destitute, who will go to school? Who will come to veterinary school tomorrow? I hope you get what I'm saying. So we don't want anything to do with the poultry industry. Then you have to be innovative. There must be a lot of innovation. What is our problem now? Feed. A lot of people are using the lava water of black fly, elsewhere, not in Nigeria, to produce, to be served as source of poultry protein, to reduce reliance on soya beans and other things. Here in Nigeria, we can also do it because the caterpillar that is always around, the maggot and other things, we can use them as a source of protein to replace maize, to replace soya, groundnut, and others that are very expensive. Then the other one is value addition. Value addition is very important. If you produce the chickens, how will you improve the chickens? How will you improve? Even if you improve the packaging of your egg from the so-called static grades to a dozen, half dozen, all these are value additions that will attract the market, that will make more money. And then if you have strategic and very good market, this one is very good. It can help you to sustain. It can make you can sustain the poultry industry. But hope is not lost. We will not continue like this. I'm sure something will happen and the poultry industry will recover. Because I met somebody who has cattle and chicken. He told me, Lawal, the chicken is the cash cow of the farm. I didn't know that word. I asked him, what is cash cow? He says it is the money spinner. It spins money. And then somebody, and when he saw the money, he was making from poultry. In fact, he's still making, because he's still on. He says he should have read veterinary medicine. And if he has the opportunity to go back to school, he will study veterinary medicine. So this is to tell you that all hope is not lost, and poultry is highly profitable, and there is a lot of money in poultry business. Thank you very much for listening. And I'm really sorry for taking your time. Time allocated by the camera is not enough. We couldn't do justice to the presentation, but we can continue to discuss. We can continue to discuss outside the box. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to the organizer for giving me opportunity.
Poultry management is like a game of football. So you have to prepare from beginning to the what? To the end. Even they can score when it is a dynamic 9 minutes. So when you are in poultry, like he has earlier said, an entrepreneur is a risk taker. So you have to avoid all the risk associated with the poultry. So, and he has raised a lot of issues which are very, very important. Like he talked about SWOT analysis, which is an essential ingredient of business. When you look at the SWOT analysis, we have internal and we have external. The strength is internal. The weakness is what? Is internal. Why the opportunity and threats are what? They are external. If you are very good, you have all the knowledge that can propel your business into a higher realm, and you are you employ somebody that is sick, somebody that is weak. That is the aspect of what? Weaknesses. So the overall thing is, in poultry, there is a law, vital law, that you have to put in your what? In your mind every time. They will say, inspect. Don't what? Don't expect. If you are a manager, you have to be what? To be working of what? Inspect. Don't expect. If there is a failure, your manager is telling you, I expect somebody to do it, I expect somebody to do that, then the failure will come. But you have to do it yourself, or you make sure you go right. So that word is very, very important in business. Inspect, don't expect. And in poultry, we are making use of percentage. If there is a 10% production, fall in production in about 1 million beds, then it means you have lost about what? 100,000 beds. So therefore, you have to be very, very conscious of what you are doing. And this business is very, very important to our women. So if you are from rich family,